Alright, good evening everyone. I guess we'll just start. So, from what I noticed, a few people had issues with getting the link, or probably they didn't check their mails, but we'll kickstart, and hopefully at the end of this, we'll all get the slides and probably a recorded video of this session. Alright, let's get started. So, this webinar we're focusing on a beginner's guide to blogging. Alright, so for a while I've been having questions about starting a blog, what it takes to start a blog, how do you start, where do you go from there, what type of content would you create, where do you publish, must I have a website, and all of that. So I just felt let's combine everything together, get everyone instead of repeatedly breaking it down. So for this session, we're going to be focusing on what blogging is about, what is a blog, what's the difference between a blog and a website, which is better, having a blog or a website, what do you need to start, how do you start, types of blogs that you can start, and then a very big question for many people, the difference between self-hosting and free hosting. How do you monetize your blog, pages you need on your blog, tips and useful platforms to grow your blog. So the last three topics are actually additions to what I initially shared we're going to be studying, but let's see how we go. Alright, can we confirm if you can hear me and see my screen? Alright, good. Okay. So to start with, what is a blog? A blog is for my screen, a regularly updated website with new content, frequently published, and most time is published in what we call reverse chronological order. That means you usually see the latest blog post before you see the previous blog post. So it's like a descending order. So if you publish something today, the post that you published yesterday will go down, and like that, if you publish something by tomorrow, what you posted today will go back down. So you can publish either weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, fortnightly, just the way you want it. And for blogs, when blogs started, it started in 1994. And when it started, it was called a weblog. Then people were not really using the internet. And you know how the internet started? It just started from US. The military department just wanted to put stuff online, and before you knew it, it's bettered a lot of things. When Google came up, and then people started using blogs as personal diaries. You write stuff about what you feel, what you want others to know, what's happening in your life, just like a daily diary. But now what we have is we have more of educational content on blogs. We have people sharing information, people writing about anything. You can decide that you want to write about dogs. You can decide you want to write about technology. You can decide you want to write poems, stories, and now you just publish anything you want. Alright. So alright. What's the difference between a blog and a website? Technically, a blog is a website, but a website is not necessarily a blog. For blogs are updated regularly. It can be, like I said, it can be daily, monthly, um, weekly, but it's frequent. For websites are updated just once in a while when you need, or when you see that there are major changes that you need to make, changes around the business, and this type of changes come up annually, quarterly, or halfway through the year. So you just update few and limited pages, and that's another difference between a blog and a website. With a blog, you have posts that go up daily, weekly, but with your website, you just have static pages. No, by static, nothing changes, it doesn't move. It's the same thing. Is for a website, you see sites like your school website, you go to the government website, or a website about health and all of that. But when you're talking about blog, you're talking about things like for instance, Nairaland. When you go on Nairaland, Nairaland is updated every minute. You have a website like Net Niger, where people download movies. So that's a blog. It's updated regularly. Alright, so the next thing is it better to have a website or a blog? If I'm running too fast, please let me know. Alright, is it better to have a website or a blog? Well, it depends on what you want. Your blog is already a website. Do we get, based on the differences that we highlighted? Your blog is already a website, but your website is not a blog. And the thing is, the same money you would pay to create and run your blog is the same amount that you would pay to create and run your website. Either plugins, either paying for your hosting, paying for your domain name, and all of that is the same cost. So which is better? It's actually better to run a blog, and a blog would help you grow traffic to get more people to your website than just having a website. Since a website is not updated, there are no changes, so it's just there. But with your blog, you can run SEO, you can always share because something new is always happening. And then a blog would a website can actually link out to your blog. If you check many brands that we have today, I would make an example of Cowrywise. If you go to Cowrywise right now, their page is static, that's their website. But if you scroll down a bit, you'll see somewhere that they have a blog, and that blog, it just takes you directly to their blog site. That's like a subdomain. So with that blog, they get traffic back to their website. But if you're a personal brand or you're building a business, it's advisable to start with a blog, get traffic, build your authority, and then you can move on to just having that static website. And that static website can be a subdomain of what your blog name is. All right. So we move on. Why you need to start a blog? So why do you need a blog? You need a blog to build authority. You need people to know that alright, this is doing Solar, this is what she does. I'm a photographer, so I have a blog about photography, and here I share my tips about photography. I share presets, I share what tools you need, I help people out. Any information that you need about photography, the type of photography that you can do. A blog will make you recognized as an authority in that space, as an authority in that photography space. So when people have questions, when they have any needs, they run directly to your website. There's nowhere else for them to go, just your website. Alright. And you need a blog to grow your business. Like I said, brands like Cowrywise or Piggyvest, they have blogs. And what does this blog do? That's how they generate traffic. So if you go now and you search what type of investor am I, it will take you straight to the Cowrywise blog. And when you open that blog link and you scroll through, eventually you'll be tempted to actually sign up and create an account on Cowrywise. And I don't know, for most of us here that are marketers, content creators, there's this website that's actually quite common among us. It's called HubSpot. I'll type it in the comment section in case you've never heard of it. Alright, so HubSpot.com. What hotspot.com do is focus a lot on their blogs. So you can go if you want to learn about content marketing, content creation, you want to sign up for courses. They have blogs that will channel you there. What type of content can I create? Once you type that in your search bar, it will take you straight to HubSpot. HubSpot will appear, and then you definitely click on HubSpot. And when you get there, you see that they have a lot of templates. Then you sign up for their academy, you study courses for free. That is how they build traffic, they grow their business, and eventually you would pay for their CRM tools or sales automation. All right, can we still hear me? All right. Okay. So, why do you need a blog? You need a blog to become a thought leader. Like I said before, you need to build authority. So you need a blog to become a thought leader. Let me make a quick example of someone like Dima Me. She's actually a very popular YouTuber, and before she ventured out into YouTube, she started from a blog. This popular Niger single girl, yes, she has a blog, and then she built that authority before social media came up. So when you see these people, they are thought leaders for fashion, they are thought leaders for relationship, top leaders for women development, growing confidence and everything relating to the female gender. These are people that people look up to in the social media space. But how did they start? They started from a blog. They started by becoming bloggers. Then why do you need a blog? To develop your skills. Blogging would help you develop what I'll call content marketing and distribution, because blogging does not just stop and start with writing blog posts and then you just publish it and you leave it. With blogging, you would learn content creation, you learn content distribution, content marketing, because definitely you have to share your blog and you cannot just leave it for Google or family and friends. You will learn social media, you will learn how to make use of graphics, you will learn how to do designs. So with blogging, you are building skills that is way beyond writing or content creation. Alright, with blogging, you get to build a community. You build a community around your blog. People always commenting, sharing your blog post, anticipating the next blog post. Oh, what do you have for us? I learned this from your blog. My friend loved your blog. And then you build a following. And there's this type of community that we should aim for. It's called a cult following. You know the way cultists are, they're always tight, you cannot break that bond, they're always there. So your blog family would follow you wherever you go. If you move to YouTube, they will definitely follow you. Like I mentioned, Dima Ome started with a blog, and now she's on YouTube and she's a big social media influencer. All right, why do you need a blog? To network and to build connections. You connect with other bloggers, you meet new people, because your content is on the internet. Once people search, they find you. Brands will find you once you have a website, once you're on Google. Once they go and then they type your name, type the name of your brand, type your niche, and you pop up. You've built valuable networks and you've gotten better connections. All right, the next point: how do you start a blog? So this is like a very big deal. This is the main point. It's not just enough to know why you need to start a blog or what a blog is about. The main or the most important thing is how do you start this blog. Alright, let me quickly read what I have here. When creating a blog, you should start by conducting research and then make research on all of this. So the first thing is, why are you starting a blog? That's the very first thing you need to know. Do you want to make money out of it? Do you want to build a community? Do you want to become a thought leader? Do you want to make money? Do you want to develop skills? Why exactly are you starting a blog? And I'll quickly add, when you're starting a blog, don't limit yourself to one thing. So for me, when I started my blog, I started a blog in order to get jobs, to get gigs, and it did that for me. So the next thing I'm looking forward to is building a community, and then the next thing I'm looking forward to is monetizing. Do we get? So you need to know why you're actually starting a blog, and then do you want a niche or not? I put or not there because this is a very trivial thing now. Many people ask you to focus down, choose a niche. By niche, I mean a subsection of what you want to talk about. Like, do you want to talk about dogs? Do you want to start a blog about pets? Do you want to start a blog about career? Do you want to start a hair care blog? Should you niche down or should you niche down? Should you just do a lifestyle blog where you can talk about everything? Talk about food, talk about how to combine colors, fashion, how to dress, talk about businesses, how to grow businesses, or should you just focus on one thing? That's, you really need to decide on that. It will determine how you would grow your blog. If you decide not to niche, then you're exposing yourself to a lot of things. You're not limiting yourselves, you're spreading out. But if you niche, it means you're focused on growth. You want to grow as fast as possible. Then number 3, choose a platform. I'm going to be dwelling on this subsequently. Choose a platform, then decide on whether you want a paid or free hosted blog. I would also be explaining this subsequently. Then decide on your domain name. By domain name, I mean, what do you want your website to be called? What do you want your blog to be called? For instance, we are using, if you use Canva, that's the domain name. Then when you say canva.com, canva.com is the website. That's what Google recognizes. Do you understand this part? Canva is the domain name, and then canva.com is the website. Just like you have Honeydrops blog and then honeydropsblog.com. Honeydrops blog is the domain name. And then set up social media accounts. You need social media accounts. Like I said, you're not just blogging and then publishing and leaving it there. No, you are sharing. You are not limiting the blog. You want the blog to grow, so you need to set up social media accounts. And please note this down: when you're creating social media accounts, don't limit it to Instagram or WhatsApp. That's the mistake that many people make when they're starting a blog. You should have, please note this down, you should have social media accounts on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You should have a Facebook page. You should open Medium. You should open Pinterest. And I will emphasize Pinterest. If you really want to grow, you need Pinterest. You need a Pinterest account. Please, did we note this down? Alright, I will just quickly type it here, and I'll put Pinterest in caps so that we don't forget. And the beautiful thing about using a content management system like WordPress is you can always link out to all of these platforms easily. It will share it for you automatically. So what you need to do is open these pages and then link out to it. Alright, and finally, stop daydreaming. The best time to start a blog is right now. Stop thinking about it. Like, if you really want to start a blog, if you want to monetize, if you want to make money out of it, then you really need to start your blog right now, and then stop waiting. Motivation is not every day. The motivation you feel today, by tomorrow you forget all about it. So if you want to start a blog, by the end of this session, if you have not started, please get started on a blog. Alright, so I said I was going to talk about hosting, whether you need to get freely hosted blogs and then blogging platforms. So I'll quickly dwell on this now, and this is the bulky part of our session. Alright, so I want to make sure we are still following me. Can we hear me? Can we see the screen? Alright. Okay. So a free hosting and then self-hosting. So let me start by saying a web host is what allows your blog to be seen on the internet. You can have a blog, but without a web host, whether free or self-hosted, you are basically not seen on the internet. Hosting is what people allow your Hosting allows people access your blog directly. Is where you go on the internet, and then if you search for, let's say you search for Ife Jesu or Dejide, you are going to see, as long as she has details online, it's going to pop up on any platform that name is registered on. Maybe Academia, no, not Canva, Twitter. If you have a Twitter account with her name, you are definitely going to see her pop up there. And some of the best way to get hosting is to use hosting companies like GoDaddy, Hugo Host is a Nigerian company. Bluehost, Namecheap, and then the best type of blog is to have a WordPress hosted blog. Let me quickly add that hosting is not expensive. Getting your blog hosted is not expensive. This was my fear when I started a blog. I actually thought then you see $90. When you compare $90 to naira, it seems very big because of the exchange rates and all of that. So if you're looking to get a website, you're looking to get hosted, and you don't have so much money to spare, please use Google Host. I'll type it out now. GoogleHost.com. Please use Google Host. At least you will spend, let's say, 12,000 naira. Before it was around 9,000 or 8,000, but inflation and the whole economy, it's around 12,000 naira now. And that money you're only paying it once in a year. So 5,000 naira for your hosting or 6,000 naira, and then the other 6,000 naira for your domain name. Alright. So when you're choosing your hosting platforms, you can decide to pay or not to pay. What blogging platforms do is allow you host your blog sites on with their platforms, like you get access to it. And then when you're choosing your hosting platform, blogging platform, make sure it's easy to use, make sure it's flexible, make sure it's easy to manage, cost effective, and it should be very easy to set up. And then it should suit the type of blog that you want to create. And I'll give examples now. If you are focusing on being a fashion brand, sharing pictures, publicity for your business with images, then focus on Instagram and Pinterest. You see that Pinterest has come up again when it comes to blogging. So Pinterest is very important. Like if you miss anything, don't miss out on Pinterest. And then Instagram for pictures, of course. Then if you are sharing intellectual content, then I would advise that you go to Twitter and LinkedIn. And well, Twitter has been described as a microblogging platform, and very soon now Twitter is going to be unveiling articles. If you want to publish articles, very soon you get access to that on Twitter. If you want to monetize your content, you you can do that on Twitter. And then Medium actually started as an offshoot for Twitter. Let me type it out here. Sorry for that noise. I'm close to the road. Alright, so Medium actually started as an offshoot for Twitter. So if you want to do things easily, you want to blog easily and save yourself a lot of stress, then go through Medium. Medium started as an offshoot of Twitter, and then there is Review. Review is a newsletter platform. But let's move on. So if you want to focus on having a site on Google or other search engines, then use WordPress. And of course, there is Blogger. Blogger is by Google. Blogger is a product of Google. Is how you see all this. This was how Linda Ikeji started. She started with lindaikeji.blogspot.com. So any website where you see blogspot actually is a blogger account. Then there are content management systems that allow you host your publications freely on their platforms. There's WordPress, there's Blogger, Tumblr, Substack, and Medium. So I've explained WordPress and Blogger. Tumblr is also an image publishing platform, and then there is Substack. Substack allows you publish emails. With Substack you can publish emails. So all my emails are hosted on Substack. It's actually easier. Most people tell you to use MailChimp. Yes, you can use MailChimp, but for seamless use we have Substack. And then there are link aggregators. Link aggregators are very popular on Instagram or any social media. So there's Linktree, there's Disha. Disha is a Nigerian brand. There's Milkshake. There's Maystack. Maystack is also a Nigerian brand. And you can blog for free on social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And don't forget, I said Instagram is focusing more on images and now videos. And then Twitter is focusing on, LinkedIn is focusing on more of intellectual content. So if you want long posts, go for LinkedIn. If you want Twitter, go for if you want shorter posts, go for Twitter. And then yes, so we're talking about freely hosted blogs and self-hosted blogs. All these platforms that I've mentioned so far, they are freely, like you want to start a free hosted blogs. But then with all these platforms, nothing belongs to you. Any content that you create does not belong to you. So don't forget, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, they are freely hosted platforms, and with them nothing belongs to you. And I'll quickly share you the disadvantages of using these platforms or trusting them alone. So first, the platform can shut down at any time. Yeah, last year there was this shutdown of Instagram. We were using social media, and then one day Instagram stopped working, and it has happened countless of times. If you can hear me and if you can relate to this, please let me know in the comment section. So 2021, Instagram shut down, and then we have seen where Instagram was banned, especially abroad. Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. And then I think this year, Nigerian government banned Twitter. So imagine the number of businesses that actually use Twitter, or bloggers who use Twitter alone. That means everything that they had access to, they just got it taken away from them. And then secondly, these free hosting platforms, they're only housing you. It does not belong to you. Instagram.com belongs to Mark Zuckerberg. The way Honey Drops blog belongs to me. That's Sola. So when you go online and then you check who does this belong to, there's a way you can check all of that, and that name pops up. What you have is just access to their platform. The how would I describe this now? Okay, for instance, you type a Facebook page and then you see Facebook/Honey Drops blog. Facebook can just decide to cancel my account, and that's another disadvantage. You can just close your account. You lose access to your account. And this was something that happened to Gist Lover blog, the popular Gist Lover blog on the internet. They just woke up one day and then their account has been disabled, and they keep on creating accounts and then it gets disabled over and over and over again. But if you have a website, the only thing that Google can do to you is penalize your website. So it's just like your Twitter shadow ban. When people search, they will not really find you, or you will not rank. That's just the only thing that will happen when it comes to using your own websites and Google. But with all these platforms, once they close you off, that's the end. And then with these platforms, unless you have a backup plan, and by backup plan I mean a email list, you're going to lose your audience, and then whatever happens to the platform happens to your brand. And then finally, when you decide to leave this platform, that you are going to move to your own place, it's stressful. It's just like moving from a rented house to your new house. Do we get, are we still following? Are we still here? Thank you. So just like moving from a free house to your own house, this is a lot of stress. Imagine you have installed a, or an iron cupboard, and then you cannot cut it off. You will start leaving pieces of you everywhere. And when I was moving from my free hosted blog to the new blog site, I had to start downloading all the posts, downloading images. Till now, there are some images that I've lost that I cannot get back again. I just know that they're there, so I have to be going back and be adjusting all of it. I have to start doing SEO for all of the posts. By SEO, I mean search engine optimization. So I have to start doing that all over again for over 160 posts or so. Then you have to start sharing all over again to Pinterest. There's some traffic that still goes to the old sites. So imagine how much I'm losing out because I started off free hosting. But free hosting is not, it's not bad, because with free hosting, I'm not talking of the advantages. You get to learn before you commit. So before you put your money into it, before you decide how far you're willing to go with it, you you get to learn. You learn a lot. Before I even opened up a self-hosted platform, I was using my free hosted platform, and it was that platform that launched me out. I got jobs because I had that. So there's no how, you still need that free hosting platforms. At least learn your skills before you eventually launch out. Do you get? And like I said, you can still build good reach and community because it's still there. People are still seeing you. So as long as you have that, you have a community. But the most important thing is that you are collecting details. You don't just have a free hosted blog for nothing. Collect phone numbers, collect what's it called now, email list. I will show this example with Substack or your newsletter. Do you know that there are people that don't have websites? Everything that they do is on their email list. Like Seth Godin, let me type his name here. He might have a website but just a landing page, or just publish his website. His blog is through email. So every single day by I think 12 p.m. he sends out newsletter. That is how he runs his own blog. It's not like it's free, because definitely it's going to have a long list of people. Seth Godin is like the top marketing guru right now. So imagine all people all over the world. So he needs a very concise system that will manage that. And he decides to go through his mailing list. Those emails, they are forever. Is nobody can take it away from him. Even if Google, I pray Google does not crash. But if all these websites fades away, his mailing list will never fade away as long as Google still remains. Do you get? All right. So the advantage. All right, I think I missed something in the advantages of free hosting. With free hosting, you don't have to do any work. All you just need to do is wake up, publish, and go. If you're looking to start a blog, please go to wordpress.com and start a WordPress blog. It's very simple, very easy. It does not take any time from you. Wish I could quickly open my blog here, the previous one, but okay, let me just type it here. And this is the terrible thing about free hosting. It's just your username or your website's name not going to be sweet. So look at what I have here: honeydrops.blog.wordpress.com. It's not fancy at all. So you have a lot of honeydrops.blogspot.com. It's just showing people that it does not belong to you. It's a subdomain. So it means that this wordpress.com at the back, that's the owner. Let me quickly type out my Instagram username to explain what I mean. Look at what we have here with my Twitter handle. You see that we have twitter.com, then you have Olawi. It just shows that this platform, that's Olawi, belongs to Twitter. As it's very much my account, but it belongs to Twitter. But the beautiful part is you don't have to do any work. You're going to do all of the work: your hosting, the security of your website, plugins, and all of that is their work. You don't have to stress yourself. And then like, moving forward, advantages of self-hosting. Your self-hosted blog belongs to you. You can do anything you want with it. You can compete with already established platform. So only drops blog is competing with Instagram. If I should decide that I want to compete with Instagram, Instagram is my competitor, I can do that because I own my website. It's just like this TikTok versus Instagram. There is that competition that is set. Nobody can take it away from them. And then anything that you can do with any blog, any website, sorry, you can do it with your blog since it's yours. If you decide that you want to turn it to a picture sharing platform, you can do it with your website. It's yours. But you cannot go on Instagram and say you want to start sharing just text instead of sharing pictures. It's not possible because it negates what the owners wanted to do. But you on your blog, you can decide that I'm going to be sharing only pictures. And then the disadvantages: you are basically on your own. If your website or blog is hacked today, there's nothing that they can do for you. But when you're freely hosted, definitely they will save you. Then you have to have technical skills. You need to learn SEO. You need to learn how to back up your sites. You need to learn a little bit of website development. Ever since I moved, that I'm starting a self-hosted blog, I can count the number of times that my website has crashed. But with the freely hosted blog, it did not crash. So you have to learn all the skills. And then with self-hosting, nothing is free. You pay for your plugin, you pay for your hosting, you pay for your domain name, any new feature that you want that does not exist, you pay for themes. You're definitely going to pay for it. And then alright, this is not a disadvantage, it's more of an advantage. Your host is the house where your blog is contained, and then you can move. And then I've mentioned Seth Godin. He uses his email list, and then there are no limitations for how you run your blog. So which one would you choose? Let me know in the comment section. Between free hosted and self-hosted blog, which one are you most likely going to pick? Alright, I'm seeing a lot of us. I'm seeing Adewale, Ifejesu, Raymond, Sincere. If you're to start a blog, what would you pick? A free hosted blog or a self-hosted blog? Can you still hear me? All right. Okay. A lot of us are are voting for a free hosted blog. Let's go. Then Adewale says a self-hosted blog. Well, my advice. I'm saying another free hosted blog. It seems free hosted are winning, but for the reasons that we are choosing a free hosted blog is actually it's legit. We cannot riddle it away. There was a time when I started blogging. In the ebook that I shared before the meeting, there I actually said I prefer a free hosted blog, but ever since I've moved to a self-hosted blog, I have seen the lights. I have seen the lights, and I would say self-hosted all the way. All right, so this one is the most important part of blogging. There's no point in doing a blog if you're not earning anything from it. But then it's not just about the money. Like I said, know why you want to start, whether you're building a community, you want to get jobs, you want to build skills. But for many people, is the money part. Like once people think about blogging, they think you must make money immediately. And you see people that tell you that they make $1 million in 3 months. I will tell you that that's a lie. It's not possible. But then how can you monetize your blog? You can monetize through advertisements, placing ads. You can through sponsored opportunities or sponsored posts. People pay you to blog about them. So somebody talked to me recently that they want to promote their blog and all of that. But you just have to make sure before you go ahead and then tell your community about this. Then selling services. As a blogger, I'm selling my content creation skills. Like I'm creating content for brands and all of that. And then affiliate programs. Can we still hear me? Oh my god. Can we still hear me? I think my internet jumped off. Alright. Affiliate programs and then physical and digital products. Physical and digital products, ebooks. You can decide to sell t-shirts, like this thing that's popular during BB Niger, like selling Onidrop's blog, or then street church. We know street church, they sell their quotes, sorry. And then pages that you need on your blog. You need a contact page, you need an about page, disclaimer, cookies, privacy policy, terms and services page. Please focus more on creating your contacts and about page, because for every content management system that you're using, they're going to provide the rest for you. Even your free hosted blog like Instagram or Medium or Substack, you're not the one creating disclaimer, cookies, privacy policy, or terms. All you need to focus on is how can people reach you, how can they contact you, and then your about page. What's your blog about? And then I think this is finally some tips and platforms to grow your blog. I mentioned Pinterest earlier. In all your blogging, in all you're doing, in all your content creation, whether free or self, or you're using social media, I beg you by the mercy of God, get a Pinterest account. And don't just do Pinterest, get a Pinterest business account. I learned this during the COVID period, and everything, all the traffic that I'm getting on my blog now, aside SEO, is Pinterest. And then Substack to build your email list. And then there's Medium, of course. Medium is very good. You can share your content there. Anything that you publish on your blog, you can publish there and then link back. And then Quora is a Q&A platform. question and answer platform. So people ask questions and then you reply, and then you drop links to your blog. It's building what we call domain authority and backlinks. So open a Quora account and start using it now. And then WordPress is a content management system. If you are looking to start in a website, please use WordPress. And then finally, useful tips for blogging. Always give value. Value is the backbone of everything. Without value, every other thing is baseless. Imagine coming to your website or your blog sites, and then people don't get a good feeling when they leave. That's it's not making good of your effort. So before anything, your number one focus should be value. And then from the day you start, this is a mistake that I made. Start monetizing immediately. Don't wait till you say you have 1,000 readers or 20,000 readers. No, it's not something that you can achieve that fast. But start working on how you want to monetize. um Here we said you can monetize through ads, sponsorship, selling products, selling services. So start monetizing immediately. There's nothing stopping you from monetizing. And then network and collaborate. Meet with bloggers. There are bloggers in your community, and then share your blog shamelessly. Don't let anybody stop you. There are only two things that can happen. Like I shared on my Instagram today, is either people read it or they don't read it. So make sure you share your blog shamelessly. Don't be afraid of anything. Just share. And that's why you need good network. If you don't have a lot of friends, your friends have a lot of friends. So rely on your friends to share. And then you have SEO and Pinterest to back you up. Then start collecting an email list immediately you start a blog. As people are commenting, be removing their email lists. Of course, ask for permission, but get their details. Get their details in case, like we said, anything happen. And I see most of us are opting for freely hosted blogs. So get an email list, and then join forums. Join forums like Nairaland. Nairaland is very important. Join Nairaland, join Quora, join Reddit. Those three, I bank on them. If you want to grow your blog, join forums. Alright, so that's the end of what I have for us today. And let me quickly add that we can reach out to me in case you have any questions that go beyond this. So for the 9 of us that are here today, I'm open to answering questions freely. I think now they're paying for my consulting services. But I'm available, like reach out to me. And then finally, I think I just sent my phone number. Yeah, you can message me on WhatsApp. Please note it down. Yeah. So the next 5 or so minutes, do we have any questions? Let's take two before it wraps up. This meeting link will expire by 9. So do we have any questions? Questions.
What question? Can I go ahead?
Yes, sure.
About getting a niche or not, that for those that would like to diversify, they have several opportunities. What if someone just wants to focus on a niche, for instance, children? That's the person's focus. What would you advise? Just starting out, what would you advise the person to do?
Well, I advise to start, like, by saying deciding whether you want to focus on a niche or not, is so that you'll be able to expand and grow. Definitely, if you're talking about children, There are a lot of things that I can talk about when it comes to children. You can talk about health, talk about education, talking about maybe spirituality for children or not. You can talk about how they relate with friends, and even with just saying they are talking with about children, there are still a lot of niches. You can still break children down. You can say you're talking about what it takes to grow a child in Nigeria, and then you can say you are um, talking about growing children all over the world. What type of schools you're taking children to, children education. So, well, don't limit yourself. If you're focusing on children, yeah, sure, go ahead and talk about children. You can, with children, you can talk about motherhood, definitely, but not that you are talking about children and then you now start talking about maybe a travel blog, for instance. They don't go hand in hand. But you can talk about children and say you're talking about traveling for children. It works better that way. And then I realized that there's a part of this slide that is not here. That's type of blogs. I noticed that I didn't include it in this slide, but I'll add it before I share. I'll add it before I share with us. Was I able to answer the question?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank
Let
you
me
very
quickly
much.
add, in case there are no other questions. When my blog started, it started as a personal blog, but now it's focused on Gen Z, like Gen Z lifestyle. I can decide tomorrow that I want to switch. So just like that. Then yeah, a question from Fee. Did you deal with imposter syndrome as a beginner? How did you cope? Yes, I did with it. There was a time where 6 people in a month were reading the blog. It's not encouraging to continue, and starting a blog, thinking about where is the money, how would you run it, will people read your blog, people will say what is she writing about. There was someone who told me that this thing that you're doing is just a hobby, you cannot make money from it. And I almost forgot about there were times that I was doing blog for almost 6 months. I just left things dry. But how did I cope? I knew what I wanted. I wanted a job, and I know I cannot stop. So I just had to continue. Now I want to make money from it. am I make am I making money now? Not really. I'm not making what I want to make. But does that mean I'll stop? No. I'll keep on pushing on. Read books, talk to other people. Alright. Okay. I hope I was able to answer that. I'm available for you to ask me questions personally. I think my phone number is just above your question. Alright. Okay. Thank you everyone. So I'll be sharing the slide with us after this meeting. I'll update it and then I would share with us. And then like I said, my WhatsApp number is here. Reach out to me for any questions. Then this session is recorded. I would also share the link for those who joined in late and those who missed it. Alright. Thank you very much everyone. It's nice to have us here. Alright, bye.